Hello and welcome to Akamai's Connection Series. I am here in beautiful Paris. My name is Salem-Jackson and I'm Akamai's EVP and CMO. And I have the absolute pleasure to be sitting here with Tim Sewell, who's the CEO of Yospace, which is the leader in server-side ad insertion. Tim, welcome, and thank you so much for being here today. So Tim, let me kick off by saying thank you for being both a customer and a longtime partner of Akamai. We really appreciate that partnership. And so I'd love everybody to hear what business challenges led you to start working with Akamai?
So we've had a partnership with Akamai for a little over a decade now. So Yospace launched server-side ad insertion into live streams as a capability back at the very start of 2012. And there's a very close tie-up between content delivery and server-side ad insertion and all of the troubleshooting that needs to be done during the implementation. So we've always had a close working relationship from a technology perspective with Akamai, and I think every single one of our major customers is also a major customer of Akamai, relies on Akamai for their content delivery and delivering true quality viewing experiences. So there's been a natural tie-up there. And then from Yospace's perspective, as we start to prepare for an increasingly all IP world where broadcasters expect the vast majority of their audiences to consume both live and on-demand content over the internet, that introduces a totally new level of scale, both in terms of Akamai's delivery of that content, but also in terms of addressable advertising and the ability to interact with the programmatic ecosystem effectively at massive scale. So as we look at our strategy around how we utilize cloud compute, the Akamai offering in this space is really interesting for us, both in terms of the economic, the commercial benefits that it potentially brings us, but also the fact that it gets us that much closer to the edge, closer to the end user. So that's going to enable us to do a lot more things. It assists with scale and delivering a truly seamless user experience. So we're excited to move things forward.
Well, we're excited to work with you. So you talked about powering the experiences, reliability, scale, and then of course bringing those closer to the end users, which is what matters most. That's fantastic, and we look forward to continuing to partner with you. So at Akamai, we have a purpose which we live, which is to make life better for billions of people, trillions of times a day. And to live that purpose through our customers is really important to us. So we'd love to understand what we make possible for you and how you make those things and that purpose possible for your customers.
Sure. So as I say, we're fairly boring when it comes to party chat and at a party in that we do one thing. All we do is server-side ad insertion. It's all we've done for the last, coming on for 12 years now. And so we are absolutely focused on reliability of service, on quality of user experience, and on enabling the broadcasters to maximize their monetization potential. And a big bit of that is the quality of the customer support. So whether it's during the implementation phase or during major tournaments, supporting those broadcasters, so not only can they be confident that the viewing experience will never be interrupted as a result of the ad tech ecosystem, but also that they can maximize the opportunity from a monetization point of view associated with the sports rights that they've acquired. And so we think our sort of razor focus on that is actually quite well aligned with Akamai's sort of approach to their customers and philosophy. So we have a very close relationship with the Akamai support teams, and we think that works really well for our customers.
So staying on the CMO theme, I have a bit of a selfish question for you. So there's a lot of CMOs that are watching this right now. So we're always vying to get someone's attention, to get someone like you's attention. So what advice do you have for marketers out there? What can we do to grab your attention as a CEO?
Yeah. I mean, as an industry, we love an acronym. And we love the new shiny things, and so there's just so much noise, and with the proliferation of digital advertising and all the different ways that we can communicate with customers and prospects, there's just an awful lot of noise. And I think getting back to the principle of demonstrating credibility, being really clear and concise about the problems that you solve, and being able to demonstrate that you actually have a track record of doing that, being more pragmatic, less about the latest shiny thing, and actually demonstrating that you're delivering some real credible value.
I love that. So credibility, a trusted brand, and really focusing on what's in it for you and our customers versus all the jargon.
Yeah,
I think that's some
so.
pretty sound advice, Tim, that I can take forward. So thank you for that. Okay, I have a fun question so people can get to know you a little bit better. So what is the best career advice you have ever received?
Okay. So I thought, well, this did come from my father, but I thought it was his quote, and only a few years later I found out that it actually wasn't. But he said to me,
We won't tell him.
Yeah, it's really strange. The harder you work, the luckier you are. And I think it was actually a quote from Gary Palmer, a golfer, but I think it rings true, and it was kind of consistent with Tony Nadal's theme yesterday. You know, yeah, there's no substitute for hard work. I guess I'd add on to that, which again I think is a famous quote. If you can surround yourself with people who are brighter than you, and in my case people you actually enjoy spending time with, then that's a bonus as well, because Yospace has been in the industry for 25 years now, and I've been lucky enough to work with a group of bright people who've been with us for almost that entire period, so I think that makes a big difference. And then a non-work one, I love sailing, and as you can probably tell by my physique, I haven't actually done any racing for quite a long time, and my wife's a keen sailor as well, and it was starboard always has right of way when coming to a racing mark. Now my wife would argue that sometimes that's a rule I either forget or I don't know my left from my right, but in sailing it's a fairly important rule.
There's so much good advice in there. It's do the work and do the hard work. Surround yourself with people smarter than you. I personally always try to hire people smarter than me. And the third piece of advice is starboard always has the right of way. Sound advice, Tim, I'm going to take forward, and I'm sure all our listeners will as well. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. And Tim, most importantly, I want to thank you for spending time with us today.
Thank you.